Okay. Oh, you got my phone, silly boy. Okay, so today I wanted to do like another. You need to be quiet. You're fine. Okay. I wanted to do like another ranting kind of video. And I wanted to talk about like stigmas as moms and parents in general. Because there's always been a lot of crud kind of given to, not always, but sometimes given to moms who don't breastfeed by choice, moms who don't breastfeed because they can't, but nobody, bothers to ask why. They just assume that they're not looking out for their child and not giving them the best nutrition. And as a mom who did not breastfeed, I take a lot of offense to a lot of these things. Part of it was choice. I always was kind of bickering back and forth with myself over how I felt about it. Because of my anxiety, it made me kind of feel uncomfortable with thinking about my son, being latched on. And I have nothing against it. I mean, by all means, like, feed your child. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you you can't. And I don't think that people are sexualizing breasts when women are breastfeeding. And some people might get pissed off watching this, but I just think you should cover up when you breastfeed. That's my personal opinion. I'm not offended by it. I'm not grossed out by it. I'm not going to tell a mom to cover up if she chooses to be uncovered, because that's not my choice. I just personally think that you should. And don't compare it to eating in a bathroom. Don't compare it to covering yourself. Some moms, I wouldn't know anything about it, but I've heard that some moms cover their children because they get distracted easily while eating. And I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that people sexualize it, but my son doesn't know what boobs are. And he's seen one of my friends breastfeed her daughter, but she was covered. And he doesn't need to be exposed to something like that he doesn't know anything about, Like I said, I don't have anything against it, and I'm not going to say something to somebody who doesn't cover up, but I think you should have enough respect for yourself to cover up. And I don't think it should be this big ordeal that it is. I don't know how many people actually say something to moms that are breastfeeding. Like I said, I never breastfed, so I wouldn't know anything about it. That's just my personal opinion. But that said, a lot of breastfeeding moms do have this aura about them that sometimes they seem like they feel entitled because they did breastfeed, whether they were able to or whether it was by choice or whatever the case may have been. I've seen a lot of breastfeeding moms talk down to formula feeding moms. We're all moms. We need to be supportive of each other regardless of what your situation was. And I just don't think it's fair for them to sit there and say that us moms that did not breastfeed are not giving our kids the nutrition that they deserve. Sure we are. Formula has so many things. It may not have the antibodies when you're sick that breastfeeding does. There may be other things that they don't get from it, but they're still getting the nutrition that they need. And that's that. I mean, I don't know why there is any stigma about being a formula feeding mom. And no, it was, yes, like 75% choice, but also my son, if you watched my birthing stories, that he was in the NICU for 8 days, and I was getting depression and anxiety. Well, obviously I already have, but I was getting those things more intense because my milk was not coming in when he needed it, and I was under the impression that I was starving my son. And after speaking with Cody, his dad, we decided that the best bet was to formula feed him because I didn't know when my milk would come in, and I didn't want to supplement and then go to breastfeeding and try to get him to latch onto me. Try to get him to latch onto me after he's gotten used to a bottle. So there was that part of it as well in the back of my mind. And so he's a formula-fed baby. Do you want to get off me? The other things that are out there that us moms fight with each other about is the working mom and the stay-at-home mom who's got the harder job. That pisses me off. Obviously, I don't know what it's, well, I kind of know what it's like to be a working mom, but a working mom that brings my kid. And obviously, as you know, if you watched my previous video, that didn't work out for me. I don't want to be away from my son. That's my choice. I'm not saying my job is harder than a mom who goes to work and then comes home. I'm not saying my job is harder than a mom who works and then comes back home and takes care of her kids. I'm not saying that at all, but don't discredit that my job is not hard as a stay-at-home mom, you know. And I do overnights by myself because Cody gets up at 4:30 in the morning and goes to work at 5:30. He leaves at 5. So I do the overnights on my own because he already gets such a small amount of sleep. He doesn't need to be getting any less because he does go and work Monday through Friday from 5:30 to 2 or something. But I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't have a hard time when he naps getting something else done, you know. I don't want to say that working moms have it easier, but at the same time, you're not baby 24/7. You actually get a break from your child by going to a job. I get no break. I am constantly baby all the time, you know. And some people say, well, when they have a job, they don't get a break from their job. Sure you do. The weekend or when you come home. My job is all the time unless somebody can watch him for me so I can do something for myself, which hardly ever happens because everybody has a life, you know, and you kind of got to do what you got to do. I don't regret being a stay-at-home mom because I love my son and I love that I'm the one that is taking care of him and he is being raised the way that I want him to be raised. But everybody's always fighting about which mom has the harder job, and I don't think it's about what's harder. I think it's about every mom does what they need to do for their kid. What is the matter with you? I think that we all just need to be there for each other. I mean, that's it, plain and simple, you know. And my life and our life as a whole, ow, honey, you okay? It is hard having a one-income home. It is hard living a paycheck-to-paycheck life. But that's the cards that were dealt because if I were to work, all my money would go towards childcare. So this was the best option for us. Like I said in my video the other day, I'm trying to find something that I can do at home. That, whether YouTube takes off, would be awesome or not. You know, I'm trying to do anything that I can to find what I can to stay at home, to work from home, to be there for him, because I know it would help out my family. I don't know right now off the top of my head any other like mommy stigma things, but you know, if I come up with any more, if I think of any more that are going around, obviously I'll make another video about it. Maybe, you know, talk about some of the things that we've done with him that other parents don't do, or that other parents do that we haven't done with him, and stuff like that. I'll touch on probably at some point, but for right now, I just want to say that I'm tired of getting crap for not breastfeeding my son, and I'm tired of getting crap for being a stay-at-home mom, because those are two things that were my choice, that were the best choice for my son when I made those decisions. And it wasn't just me, it was his dad as well that made these choices. So we did what we thought was best, and I just don't want to hear any more about it, because the next person that says anything to me about how I'm not doing what's best for my kid, sorry, I'm going to be a little selfish too, because that's how life is. We make some selfish decisions. My mental health for me needs to be where I am, which is home with my baby. So if you like my video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if there's anything else that you think I should touch on and talk about. Excuse me. Like I said before, I'm not going to edit this out, so if you can't hear me or you have a question about something that I said, just comment or send me a message. Let me know. I don't know how the audio quality is going to be with him playing with his stuff the whole time, but yeah, so that's kind of it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. Oh, and I'm trying to change the name to the channel. Right now it is Cody and Kristina, or Kristina and Cody, whatever it is, and I'd like to change that. I'm not married to Cody, so I can't do it as his last name, but let me know in the comments or message me or whatever, contact me in some way to let me know what you think a good name for us would be. Otherwise, Ryder and I bid you adieu, and we hope you have an amazing Wednesday, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow.